Imagine a world where your bank account does not keep you awake at night. It is 2026, and the global economy feels like it is shifting under our feet every single day. We see the prices at the grocery store climb, and we hear the news reports debating the future of our social security. For many of us who have worked hard for decades, the fear of outliving our savings is no longer a distant thought. It is a quiet, heavy shadow that follows us into our retirement years. We are told that the only way to be secure is to work 80 hours a week or gamble our life savings on the latest digital currency. But there is a group of people on the other side of the planet who do not share this panic. In Japan, there are over 3 million millionaires who built their wealth quietly and without stress. They do not show off on social media, and they do not chase every new trend that comes along. The average Japanese household saves 3 times more than the average American family. They work fewer hours, yet they retire with actual financial security and peace of mind. This is not because they make more money. It is because they follow 9 specific habits that have been part of their culture for centuries. These habits are the pillars of a life built on stability and legacy. They are the blueprint for a prosperity that does not depend on the luck of the market. If you are tired of feeling like you are running on a treadmill that is moving faster than you can keep up with, this is for you. Let us explore these 9 Japanese habits that build wealth so quietly you will not even notice it happening until your bank account proves it. The first habit is a practice that dates back to 1902. It is called Kakeibo. While we are encouraged to use complicated apps and digital trackers, the Japanese use a simple notebook and a pen. At the beginning of every month, they sit down and write their income and expenses by hand. They do not just record numbers. They ask themselves 4 critical questions. How much money do I have available? How much would I like to save? How much am I actually spending? And most importantly, how can I improve? Research in neuroscience shows that physically writing down your financial data increases your awareness by 42%. When you swipe a card, your brain does not register the loss of money. It is just an abstract number on a screen. But when you write down $47 for a dinner you did not need, your brain feels the weight of that choice. Kakeibo is not about restricting your life. It is about bringing intention back to your wallet. Japanese households using this method often save 20 to 35% more in the first 90 days. They are not doing more math, they are simply becoming more aware. This awareness is the foundation of everything that follows. The second habit is captured in a single powerful word, Mottainai. It means, what a waste. But the meaning goes much deeper than that. It is a feeling of regret and a sense of respect for the resources given to you. In our modern culture, we have become comfortable with a disposable mindset. We throw away 40% of the food we buy, which costs the average family $1,800 every year. We replace phones every 2 years and buy clothes we only wear 5 times. The Japanese feel a cultural aversion to this waste. Before throwing anything away, they ask if it can be repaired or repurposed. A broken bowl is not trash, it is an opportunity to fix it. A worn-out shirt is not garbage. It is a new cleaning cloth or a patch for a blanket. This is not about being cheap. It is about being intentional. By saying Mottainai, we acknowledge the value in every object. This habit alone can save you thousands of dollars over a single year. It changes you from a consumer into a steward of your own wealth. When you respect what you already have, you stop feeling the need to buy things to fill a void. The third habit is one you may have heard of but likely misunderstood. It is Kaizen. In the West, we are obsessed with overnight success and massive transformations. We want the crash diet that drops 50 pounds in a month, or the investment that grows 10 times by Friday. When these miracles do not happen, we give up. Kaizen is the opposite. It is the practice of continuous improvement by just 1% every day. After World War II, the Japanese economy was in ruins. They did not look for one big miracle solution. They focused on making every small process 1% better. Manufacturing improved 1%. Quality control improved 1%. Efficiency improved 1%. 4 decades later, they became a global economic superpower. The math of Kaizen is undeniable. If you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you will end up 37 times better. Apply this to your finances. Instead of trying to save $10,000 at once, focus on saving $27 a day. Instead of reading a whole library on investing, learn one new concept every morning. These tiny, relentless improvements compound into unstoppable wealth. Overnight success takes 10 years, but Kaizen happens every single day. The fourth habit changes the way we look at the things we own. It is the philosophy of heirloom purchasing. The average American closet is stuffed with 100 shirts and 50 pairs of shoes. Most of it was bought on sale, and most of it will fall apart in a year. We think we are saving money by buying cheap, but we are actually just renting garbage. The Japanese have a proverb that says, "Buy nice or buy twice." They will research a purchase for weeks and save for months to buy one perfect item. They would rather spend $300 on a pair of boots that will last 20 years than $60 on boots that last one season. This is the math of cost per use. A high-quality coat worn 500 times costs you $1 per wear. A cheap coat that falls apart after 10 wears costs you $5 per wear. The expensive item is actually the cheaper choice over time. By buying things that are built to last, you stop the cycle of constant replacement. You begin to surround yourself with objects that have stories and value. Wealthy people do not own more things, they own better things. The fifth habit is perhaps the most difficult for us to accept. It is the commitment to a cash-based life. Even in 2026, as digital payments are everywhere, Japan remains a society that respects physical currency. When you pay with a card or your phone, the part of your brain that processes pain remains silent. It feels like nothing is happening, but studies using brain scans show that handing over physical cash activates the same pain centers as a physical injury. You literally feel the loss of the money. Because of this, people spend nearly 25% more when using credit versus cash. The Japanese have a simple rule. If you cannot pay for it in cash, you cannot afford it. They do not let banks rent them their own future at high interest rates. By using physical bills, you bring the reality of your spending back into focus. You stop hemorrhaging money on things you forget about 5 minutes later. Cash forces you to face the truth that your bank statement has been hiding. It is a simple tool that provides an immediate raise to your monthly budget. The sixth habit is a beautiful tradition called Tanamoshi. It is a rotating savings group built on trust rather than banks. In a Tanamoshi group, 10 trusted friends or family members each contribute a set amount every month. Every month, one person in the group receives the total lump sum. If 10 people contribute $100 each month, one person gets $1,000. This continues until everyone has had their turn. It is an interest-free loan from your community with built-in accountability. In our culture, we often save alone, and we fail alone. We have no one to answer to when we skip a month of savings. But in a Tanamoshi, you cannot skip a month because 9 other people are counting on you. This ancient wisdom has helped Japanese families buy homes and start businesses for centuries. It proves that community is the ultimate form of compound interest. When we support each other, we all rise together. The 7th habit is the practice of Japanese minimalism. We live in a culture of excess, where our homes are overflowing with stuff we do not use. Americans spend $1 billion every year just on storage units to hold the junk that will not fit in their houses. Every possession you own has a cost that goes beyond the price tag. It costs you space, and it costs you mental energy. Zen Buddhism teaches that emptiness creates space for abundance. When you clear the clutter from your home, you clear the clutter from your mind. Studies show that living in a cluttered environment increases stress hormones and reduces your ability to make good decisions. By choosing to live with less, you give yourself the freedom to focus on what actually matters. The Japanese understand that a smaller home with a larger bank account is better than a mansion full of debt. Minimalism is not about depriving yourself. It is about liberating yourself from the burden of things. The 8th habit is what truly separates Japanese wealth from the rest of the world. It is 100-year thinking. In the West, we are obsessed with the next quarter and the next paycheck. We want results now, and we are willing to mortgage our future to get them. Japan has over 33,000 companies that are more than 100 years old. One company has been operating since the year 578. They make decisions by asking how this will affect their great-grandchildren. They plant trees they will never sit under. When you think in centuries, you do not chase get-rich-quick schemes. You do not take on high-interest debt for instant gratification. You invest in things that compound over decades. You prioritize education and systems that will benefit the generations that follow you. This mindset changes everything. It takes the pressure off the present and builds a foundation that can survive any storm. You are not just building a bank account. You are building a legacy. The 9th and final habit is the most important for those of us in our later years. It is the deep respect for elder wisdom. In our modern world, we often dismiss the elderly as being out of touch. We take financial advice from 20-year-olds on the internet who have never seen a market crash. The Japanese culture has a special language called Kakeibo, used specifically to show respect to elders. They understand that someone who has survived 70 years of life has lessons that a podcast cannot teach. Multi-generational homes are common, where grandparents pass down money habits to their grandchildren daily. The grandmother who lived through poverty knows how to make a meal from scraps and how to save before spending. This lived wisdom is a treasure that cannot be measured in dollars. By listening to those who came before us, we avoid making the same expensive mistakes. Experience is the most expensive teacher, but it is free if you are willing to listen. Warren Buffett once said that he built his fortune by studying a man 30 years older than him. He did not reinvent the wheel. He learned from someone who had already survived the mistakes. These 9 habits are not complicated, and they do not require a high income to start. They only require the discipline to begin. The world in 2026 may feel uncertain, but your future does not have to be. You do not need to be Japanese to benefit from this wisdom. You only need to be intentional. Imagine where you could be in 5 years if you started improving by just 1% today. Imagine the peace of mind you would have if you stopped wasting resources and started building a legacy. The path to wealth is not a sprint. It is a series of small, quiet steps taken with purpose. Here is your challenge for the next 30 days. Pick one habit from this list. Perhaps you start a Kakeibo notebook tonight. Or maybe you decide to use only cash for your groceries this week. Try saying Mottainai before you throw something away. Small changes compound into a life of freedom. If you are ready to build wealth the quiet way, comment the word Kaizen below. It is a signal to yourself and this community that you are committed to a better path. Thank you for spending this time with me. Your journey to a secure and peaceful retirement starts with the next choice you make. Choose with intention. Choose with wisdom. And remember that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is today. May your path be steady and your future be bright.